So, you got that dreaded denial letter for your ITIN credit card. It feels like hitting a brick wall, right? But what if I told you that letter isn't the end? It's actually the beginning. In this explainer, we're going to flip the script and turn that frustrating no into a step-by-step playbook to get you to a yes.
And look, let's just get this out of the way. A denial stings. It really does. But it's not final. And that's not just some feel-good quote, okay? It's a fact. See, the financial system, it runs on rules. And once you understand those rules, you've got the key to turn this whole thing around. So let's dive in and get specific.
Okay, so the notice is in your hand. Your ITIN credit card was denied. Now what? Do you just reapply and cross your fingers? Or worse, just give up? Absolutely not. The answer is to get strategic, to have a plan. And that's exactly what this playbook is all about.
All right, first things first. This is all about mindset. We have to completely reframe this. That denial letter, it's not a final verdict from a judge. Think of it as the opening offer in a negotiation. And guess what? You're about to learn exactly how to be the one leading that negotiation.
And this is where your power comes from. You have a legal right to know the exact reasons they denied you. And I mean exact in plain English. We're not talking about some vague corporate jargon. We're talking about something concrete, something you can actually work with. Because the law, it's actually on your side here.
So what is this amazing legal right I'm talking about? Well, it has a name. It's called Regulation B. And honestly, you should start thinking of it as your secret weapon for this entire process.
So what does it do? To put it simply, Regulation B makes it illegal for creditors to just say no without a good reason. They have to give you the specific, principal reasons for what they call adverse action, which is just their fancy way of saying you were denied. It means they can't hide behind some vague excuse. They have to tell you exactly why.
And this is why it's a total game changer. Look at the difference here. A vague reason, like insufficient credit history, what are you supposed to do with that? It's a dead end. But a specific reason, like we couldn't verify the address on your utility bill. Now that's a task. That's a problem you can solve. You can go get that bill. You've just turned a massive roadblock into a simple item on your to-do list.
Okay, but here's the thing. You have to move on this because the clock is ticking. The bank has about 30 days to get you that notice with the reasons, and you have 60 days from the denial to grab a free copy of your credit report if they used one to make their decision. So you need to mark these dates on your calendar. These are critical windows you absolutely cannot afford to miss.
Okay, so now you know your rights. You've got the knowledge. The next step is turning that knowledge into action. So let's get right into it. Here is your 4-step playbook to get a real human being to look at your application again and hopefully get it approved. It's a really simple flow, but it's so powerful. Step 1, you carefully read that denial notice and find their exact reason. Step 2, you call their reconsideration line. Yep, that's a real thing, and you use your secret weapon, Regulation B. Step 3, you show up to that call prepared with all your documents ready to solve their problem for them. And finally, Step 4, you secure a path forward. Even if it's starting with a smaller credit limit or a secured card, you're getting your foot in the door.
Now, this phrase right here, this is the magic key. I want you to write this down, memorize it, heck, practice saying it in the mirror. Because the second you say these words on the phone, the whole conversation changes. You're no longer just another number in their system. You are an informed consumer who knows their rights, and they know it.
All right, so you've made the call, you used the magic phrase, and you've got the real reasons. What's next? Well, now we've fixed the problem. Let's break down the most common hurdles that ITIN applicants run into and, more importantly, how to get right over them. And just take a look at this data. If you got denied, there's a good chance you're in one of these categories. You are not alone in this. Almost half of denials are for insufficient credit history, and another huge chunk are for identity verification or KYC issues. These are the big two for sure. But here's the good news. They are almost always fixable. So let's tackle that big one first, insufficient history. It just feels like a total shutdown, doesn't it? Come back when you have more history. But I want you to see it differently. It's not a no, it's an invitation. The bank is basically saying, hey, help us out here. Give us more info so we can say yes. And here's exactly how you do it. The reason is address mismatch. You say, no problem, I have a utility bill right here that matches. Your credit file's a little thin? You proactively suggest, how about we start with a smaller, lower risk limit, say $300 or $500. See what you're doing? You are literally solving their problem for them. You're making it easy for them to just say yes.
Okay, next up is hurdle number 2, KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer.
It sounds super serious, like a major problem, right? But honestly, I've seen it get flagged because of a simple typo. It all comes down to these tiny, sometimes maddening little details.
So the fix is just to be prepared. Before you even pick up the phone, you're going to put together what I call your KYC pack. Get all these documents scanned and saved ready to send. And pay close attention to that proof of address. It has to match what you put on your application perfectly. And I mean line for line, dot for dot, every single abbreviation has to be identical.
And if you're thinking, oh, that can't possibly matter that much, just listen to this story. A J1 researcher, their application was stuck in limbo. The whole problem? They wrote Ave on the application, but their bill said Avenue. That's it. They fixed that one tiny detail, and boom, approved within 24 hours. That's how much this precision matters.
Okay, now let's talk about a really tough one, maybe the most sensitive hurdle of all, when your immigration status is mentioned as a reason for denial. I know this can feel incredibly frustrating, maybe even unfair, but there is a smart, professional way to handle this, and it all comes down to focusing on the one thing the bank actually cares about: financial risk. The key here is to pivot. You have to shift the conversation away from your status and on to financial risk. You can ask directly, could you tell me what specific repayment risk you're concerned about? And then you immediately offer a solution to lower that risk for them, what they call a mitigant. Offer to start with a smaller limit. Offer a security deposit. You're proving that you are a stable, reliable customer, which at the end of the day is all they really want to know.
And here's a perfect example of this in action. A newcomer from Canada got denied, so they called back and pointed to their 2-year work contract as proof of stability, and just like that, the whole conversation shifted. It wasn't about status anymore, it was about finding a secured approval path. They changed the conversation, they offered a solution, and it worked.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just zoom out for a second. What we've been talking about, it's not just about getting one credit card approved. This is bigger than that. This is about you taking control and actively building your financial future here in the US.
If there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this mindset shift. You are taking a vague no that makes you feel powerless, and you're turning it into a clear, actionable checklist that you are in complete control of. That's why we call it the Empowerment Playbook.
So, now you've got the knowledge, you have the magic phrase to use, you have the step-by-step strategy. Every single piece of this playbook is right here for you. So really, there's only one question left. Are you ready to make that call?